I started off at church. I believe I was like 5. I began singing in the youth choirs and things as such. My mom sings, so of course I've gotten a lot of my training, and she was the first one that really showed me how to do this thing. I literally was in her belly and she was tearing up the churches. So I gotta say that before I was even birthed in the earth, I was learning how to sing.
The truth, of course, I know it. I wouldn't be nothing without you.
And so it was only natural for me to become a worship leader as well. I've been serving for the last 27 years at my church along with my husband. He was the minister of music there. When our pastor would go out and minister, we would go with him and do a song selection before he ministered the word. That was quite an experience, and it grew me up as well. Since day one, the first service at the church, they pretty much threw me up there in the music department and told me to go get on the stage and sing along. Now, mind you, I didn't know any of these people. I didn't know any of the songs, so it was like strange. But it was a learn as you go, on the job training. I ended up where I am today, being able to sing with boldness, being able to minister with boldness and confidence. It's just an awesome experience. Now, my involvement with Higher Heights Production League, it actually started off pretty different. I started off being the assistant to Rob. Then I began to demo songs because he didn't have a female voice working within the company. So I began to demo the songs that he had written and he wanted to present to different record labels and things. But not only demoing songs, he had me doing background vocals and arranging vocals and, things like that.
And here's what I'm gonna do.
After all of the demoing and all of that, he said, I have an idea. Why don't you be the artist? Now, Fear became my first, middle, and last name.
At a very early age, Sonya Brown had a passion for music and fashion. But it was fear that forced her to stop the pursuit of what she so desired. Not knowing much later in life, everything would change when she teamed up with Higher Heights Production League. After signing her contract with Higher Heights Production League, Sonya began working diligently on her first single entitled Number One. But still, with fear of failure, defeat, and rejection, Sonya quickly discovered a group of people who supported her dreams and her vision while on stage, in churches, and in venues throughout New York City, Buffalo, New York, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Virginia.
It's okay that you don't know what my name is, but everything I do is representing his.
Sonya had the work ethic of an experienced artist. She knew exactly what she had to do. She knew exactly what it takes to be successful. She was willing to work hard, and she would come in and work hard. But behind that work ethic was fear. It was driven by fear. She was just so afraid of, am I going to fail? Am I going to be a disappointment? Are the people going to accept me? Are they going to like me? Are the songs going to be good enough?
Ready and say.
Oh, my bad, sorry. Everyone.
Okay. 1, 2, ready and say.
Everyone must be one by one. Made to disciple God's children.
Eventually we got through it. And I think it's because she just kept coming. She would show up to the studio, and some days she would just rehearse. Some days she would rehearse by herself. You know, some days she would rehearse with the band. Some days she would rehearse with the background singers, but she would just keep practicing and work through her fears.
God's plan, I can feel it working. I've been restored. All of the joy I had before.
I'll write a song and she'll act it out. And I believe that she was acting these songs out to help her on stage when she's actually singing and, you know, performing these songs. It was just her way of doing things. I mean, it was her way of getting over her fear.
Reality comes from what you say. So today I'm living my reality. I've been restored.
When we get to the chorus, I need everyone in the building to get your ones up, all right?
She was really hard on herself, and she made sure everyone on the team was just as hard, if not harder. That's what pushed her. That's what pushed her to another level.
Okay, wait, hold on, I want to change that. Y'all come into Sonya. So everyone must be one by one.
One thing I know for sure is that Sonya never wanted to stop being a praise and worship leader, but she wanted to reach more than just church people. And she wanted to do it on more than just a church stage.
I felt like I had to transition from being a worship leader to an artist, but not realizing I can do both together. They go hand in hand. You don't stop worship to become something else. Worship is your lifestyle. It's always great to have a great supportive team of people with you. It indeed takes teamwork to make the dream work. My hairstylist is Shannon Wren. She's been doing my hair for about 12 years. I told her that, we were doing a single and I needed to go to New York and do my photo shoot. She said, "Oh, when are we leaving? Let me know all the details. I'm going with you."
What's really going down? You gotta hold on just a little while. Your breakthrough is right around.
Tamisha, Janelle, and Ty, they took care of all of the arrangements, the hotel, the drivers, the train ride, the t-shirts, breakfast. They just took care of all of the fine-tuned things that you don't think about, but is so necessary. We met up in New York with my wardrobe stylist, Tam Hush Lee. I called Tam and I said, hey, I'm getting ready to release my single and I'm getting ready to do my photo shoot in New York. And she said, oh, I'm there. Let me tell you something about Tam. She had everything laid out. She had my shoes, she had the outfit, she had all of the pieces, the jewelry. The day before the photo shoot, she was still pulling pieces. And one of the particular pieces that she pulled the day before was one of the pieces that we ended up using in the photo shoot. It was crazy. She literally was sitting there in the studio of the photo shoot, still sewing and piecing things together to make sure everything was just
That
perfect.
means that everything will change, but you can't complain. And all he wants is my praise. With no complaints, I won't complain. I won't complain. I won't complain.
Miyako J, she was totally awesome. She had me right.
Keith Major is a very instrumental part of Higher Heights Production League. We call him in anytime we have a major photo shoot to do. No pun intended, but any of the, big photo shoots that we do, Keith is our guy. He's worked with plenty of artists. Superstars like, all of the models from America's Next Top Model and Tyra Banks. And when I first met him, I was working with another artist signed to my company, April Nevels of the Neville Sisters.
Come on and praise him, y'all. Come on and praise him. Everybody's got a right to
And even then, Keith had a way of making you comfortably express yourself through photos. So here we are, 7, 8 years, 8 projects later, we bring Keith in to do the same thing for Sonya. And Keith is our guy, man. He's the best at what he does. And so I thought it would be a good fit.
Now, I know he's done a lot of different artists, a lot of different models, a whole bunch of people in Hollywood. And I'm like, all right. And so here you have Sonya.
Chilled my body, I feel alright. But I look down at my hands and they look the same. Then I look down at my feet, Lord, they didn't change. There's power, all power in your name. When the working power.
That jacket like some chicken. Black and chicken. Crazy. You gonna ask your girl.
company. I don't think y'all ready though. Sonya Brown, new single coming out. We got Mimi on the makeup. Yeah, you say hey Mimi, you know. Yeah, that's right. She gave you guys a brush. We got Shannon on the hair. This hair is amazing. And I'm on the wardrobe, of course. So you guys better get ready because we just slayed this shoot. Get the single, follow her, follow all of us because we are the bomb. Number one. Number one.
I've been patiently waiting just to say this. Need to share what's on my mind, I gotta say it. I may not be like you, I'm a little different. But if there was two of me, one wouldn't be needed. Please don't judge me, no, don't judge
After the release of her first single entitled Number One, July 2017, confidence pushed through from the consistency of hard work.
All he says I am, and he says I am number one.
I'm so excited about my project, guys. I can't wait till you hear it. It's gonna be off the chain. Number one, rocks. Higher heights, rocks. This is it. It's happening. Oh my God. OMG. I'm psyched.
What at once was fear seemed to disappear and faith began to rise, allowing Sonya to work towards her full studio project.
Tell me when to go. So let me tell y'all something. The face is talking. The hair is talking. The outfits are talking. I just want to know if you listen. Higher Heights production lead, phenomenal. Hair, Shannon Rand. Wardrobe, Tam, Hush, Boutique, get with it. Face, Miyako from New York. Keith Majors, he is major. You understand what I'm saying? America's Next Top Model. Yes. Number one hit single called Number One. She number one for a reason. Follow her. Follow him. Y'all better know. Y'all better know. Did I do it? You did. Yes.
Tragedy strikes and nearly ends the singing career of Sonya Brown. Check out what happens in part 2 of The Evolution of Sonya.